My name is Joe Bellina. My name is Joe Bellina, and I have the privilege of serving as the president of the Robbinsville Hamilton Rotary Club. On behalf of our members, thank you for joining us as we gather to commemorate the 250th anniversary of the Declaration of Independence and the founding of our nation. Before we begin, I would like to express our sincere appreciation to Mayor Todd and his administration for helping make this event possible. We also thank the township for the purchase and installation of this new flagpole, which will be used for the very first time as part of our program this morning. More than 20 years ago, a group of us in Freehold, New Jersey, was encouraged by an elderly attorney to stage a public reading of the Declaration of Independence, reviving an earlier American tradition in which citizens gathered in public places each July 4th to read the document aloud together. That event grew in popularity with each passing year. Our Rotary Club thought that this 250th anniversary would be a fitting occasion to bring that tradition here to Robbinsville as well. Perhaps here too, it will become an annual Independence Day tradition for generations to come. As we read these words today, we remember that the Declaration is more than a historic document. It is a statement of ideals that has inspired generations of Americans and people around the world. Whether we reflect on it from different perspectives or share different experiences, it remains an important part of our nation's story. So here's how the program's going to proceed. Mayor Todd will read the opening paragraph. Mayor Martin of Hamilton will read the second paragraph. Councilman Robbie will read the third paragraph, and County Executive Dan Penson will read the fourth. Then fellow Rotarian Marilyn will read the fifth, sixth, seventh, eighth, etc., all the way through. When we get to the last paragraph of the Declaration of Independence, we will all read that together. When that is done, there are more readers who will read the states and the signers of the Declaration itself. After that is done, these young folks from SEWA are going to raise the flag, and we'll also, do our Pledge of Allegiance to it. And our ceremony will conclude with the singing of the Battle Hymn of the Republic by Lisa and Meg standing beside me here. So without further ado, Mayor, are we ready to go? Yes, sir. Let's go.
Before I start, I just want to thank everybody for coming out today. It's important to remember our history, our roots, where we came from, and this is a perfect way to do this right here in Robbinsville to keep these traditions alive, and I hope to have this as an annual tradition moving forward. So with that, I'll begin. So this is in Congress, July 4th, 1776. The unanimous declaration of the 13 United States of America. When in the course of human events, it becomes necessary for one people to dissolve the political bands which have connected them with another, and to assume among the powers of the earth the separate and equal station to which the laws of nature and the nature's God entitle them. A decent respect to the opinions of mankind requires that they should declare the causes which impel them to separation.
We hold these truths to be self-evident, that all men are created equal, that they are endowed by their Creator with certain unalienable rights, that among these are life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness.
That to secure these rights, governments are instituted among men, deriving their just powers from the consent of the governed.
That whenever any form of government becomes destructive of these ends, it is the right of the people to alter or to abolish it, and to institute new government, laying its foundation on such principles and organizing its powers in such form, as to them shall seem most likely to affect their safety and happiness.
Prudence indeed will dictate that governments long established should not be changed for light and transient causes.
And accordingly, all experience hath shown that mankind are more disposed to suffer, while evils are sufferable, than to right themselves by abolishing the forms to which they are accustomed.
But when a long train of abuses and usurpations pursuing invariably the same object evinces a design to reduce them under absolute despotism, it is their right, it is their duty to throw off such government and to provide new guards for their future security.
Such has been the patient sufferance of these colonies, and such is now the necessity which constrains them to alter their former systems of government.
The history of the present King of Great Britain is a history of repeated injuries and usurpations, all having in direct object the establishment of an absolute tyranny over these states. To prove this, let facts be submitted to a candid world.
He has refused his assent to laws the most wholesome and necessary for the public good.
He has forbidden his governors to pass laws of immediate and pressing importance, unless suspended in their operation till his assent should be obtained, and when so suspended, he has utterly neglected to attend to them.
He has refused to pass other laws for the accommodation of large districts of people unless those people would relinquish the rights of representation in the legislature, a right inestimable to them and formidable to tyrants only.
He has called together legislative bodies at places unusual, uncomfortable, and distant from the depository of their public records for the sole purpose of fatiguing them into compliance with his measures.
He has dissolved representative houses repeatedly for opposing with manly firmness his invasions on the rights of the people. He has refused for a long time, after such dissolutions, to cause others to be elected, whereby the legislative powers, incapable of annihilation, have returned to the people at large for their exercise, the state remaining in the meantime exposed to all the dangers of invasion from without and convulsions within.
He has endeavored to prevent the population of these states, for that purpose obstructing the laws for naturalization of foreigners, refusing to pass others to encourage their migrations hither, and raising the conditions of new appropriations of land.
He has obstructed the administration of justice by refusing his assent to laws for establishing judiciary powers.
He has made judges dependent on his will alone for the tenure of their offices and the amount and payment of their salaries.
He has erected a multitude of new offices and sent hither swarms of officers to harass our people and eat out their substance. He has kept among us in times of peace standing armies without the consent of our legislators. He has affected to render the military independent of and superior of the civil power.
He has combined with others to subject us to a jurisdiction foreign to our Constitution and unacknowledged by our laws, giving his assent to their acts of pretended legislation.
For quartering large bodies of armed troops among us.
For protecting them by a mock trial from punishment for any murders which they should commit on the inhabitants of these states.
For cutting off our trade with all parts of the world.
For imposing taxes on us without our consent.
For depriving us in many cases of the benefits of trial by jury.
For transporting us beyond seas to be tried for pretended offenses.
For abolishing the free system of English laws in a neighboring province, establishing therein an arbitrary government and enlarging its boundaries so as to render it at once an example and fit instrument for introducing the same absolute rule into these colonies.
For taking away our charters, abolishing our most valuable laws, and altering fundamentally the forms of our government.
For suspending our own legislatures and declaring themselves invested with the power to legislate for us in all cases whatsoever.
He has abdicated government here by declaring us out of his protection and waging war against us.
He has plundered our seas, ravaged our coasts, burnt our towns, and destroyed the lives of our people.
He is at this time transporting large armies of foreign mercenaries to complete the works of death, desolation, and tyranny, already begun with circumstances of cruelty and perfidy, scarcely paralleled in the most barbarous ages, and totally unworthy the head of a civilized nation.
He has constrained our fellow citizens taken captive on the high seas to bear arms against our country, become the executioners of their friends and brethren, or to fall themselves by their hands.
He has excited domestic insurrections amongst us and has endeavored to bring on the inhabitants of our frontiers, the merciless Indian savages, whose known rule of warfare is an indistinguished destruction of all ages, sexes, and conditions.
In every stage of these oppressions, we have petitioned for redress in the most humble terms. Our repeated petitions have been answered only by repeated injury.
A prince whose character is thus marked by every act which may define a tyrant is unfit to be the rule of a free people.
Nor have we been wanting in attentions to our British brethren.
We have warned them from time to time of attempts by their legislature to extend an unwarrantable jurisdiction over us.
We have reminded them of the circumstances of our emigration and settlement here.
We have appealed to their native justice and magnanimity, and we have conjured by the ties of our common kindred to disavow those usurpations, which would inevitably interrupt our connections and correspondence.
They too have been deaf to the voice of justice and of consanguinity.
We must, therefore, acquiesce to the necessity which denounces our separation and hold them as we hold the rest of mankind, enemies in war, in peace, friends.
Please join me in reading the last paragraph. We, therefore,
Representatives of the United States of America, in General Congress assembled, appealing to the Supreme
Judge of the world, of the rectitude of our intentions to do in the name and by the authority of the good people of these colonies, solemnly publish and declare that these united colonies are and of right ought to be
Free and independent state of Great Britain.
from all allegiance to the
British Crown, and that all political connection between them and the state of Great Britain is ought to be totally disavowed. United States
They have full power
to levy war, conclude peace, contract alliances, establish commerce, to do all their acts and things which independent states may of right do. And for the support of this declaration, for the firm reliance on the protection of divine providence, we mutually pledge to each other our lives, our fortunes, and our sacred honor. Okay, thanks. Stay.
Georgia, Button Gwinnett, Lyman Hall, George Walton.
North Carolina, William Hooper, Joseph Hughes, and John Penn.
South Carolina, Edward Rutledge, Thomas Hayward Jr., Thomas Lane Jr., Arthur Middleton.
Massachusetts, John Hancock, Samuel Adams, John Adams, Robert Treat Paine, and Elbridge Gerry.
Maryland, Samuel Chase, William Packer, Thomas Stone, Charles Carroll of Carrollton.
From Virginia, George Wythe, Richard Henry Lee, Thomas Jefferson, Benjamin Harrison, Thomas Nelson Jr., Francis Lightfoot Lee, and Carter Braxton.
Pennsylvania, Robert Morris, Benjamin Rush, Benjamin Franklin, John Morton, George Clymer, James Smith, George Taylor, James Wilson, George Ross. Thank you.
Delaware, Caesar Rodney, George Reed, Thomas McKean.
New York, William Floyd, Philip Livingston, Francis Lewis, and Lewis Morris.
New Jersey, Richard Stockton, John Witherspoon, Francis Hopkinson, John Hart, Abraham Clark.
New Hampshire, Jose Bartlett, William Whipple, Matthew Thornton.
For Rhode Island, Stephen Hopkins, William Ellery.
Yes, sir.
From Connecticut, Roger Sherman, Samuel Huntington, William Williams, and Oliver Walcott.
Now we're going to ask SIWA individuals to raise our flag, and then we will recite the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. We'll now ask Meg Hansen and Lisa Valenti to perform the battle hymn.
Mine eyes have seen the glory of the coming of the Lord. He is trampling out the vintage where the grapes of wrath are stored. He has loosed the fateful lightning of his terrible swift sword. His truth is marching on. Glory, glory, hallelujah. Glory, glory, hallelujah. Glory, glory, hallelujah. His truth is marching on. I have seen him in the watchfires of 100 circling camps. They have builded him an altar in the evening dews and damps. I can read his righteous sentence by the dim and flaring lamps. His day is marching on. Glory, glory, hallelujah. Glory, glory, hallelujah. Glory, glory, hallelujah. His truth is marching on. Everybody! Glory, glory, hallelujah. Glory, glory, hallelujah. Glory, glory, hallelujah. His truth is marching on, marching on, marching on.
Happy Independence Day.